Hey guys, today I'm gonna tell you a couple of weird convention shit that happened to me on my first couple of conventions. I've only been like 3 times, but that was enough for me. Like, I would go to another convention if someone I really love was going to be there, but as of now, I don't think I'd just go for the experience anymore. Concerning the fact that conventions aren't really what they used to be, they used to just be cesspools of people having the same like-minded ideas, and those like-minded people having extensive conversations because they were depraved before, like I used to do. I went to my first convention when I was, I think, 12, 13, and it's okay. I think it was the first time my grandmother just gave me money and said, hey, you're going to a convention with this friend of yours? Cool, just be back by 9 o'clock. So I said, okay. And I proceeded to go to this convention. In middle school, I had a couple of friends that were also into anime, and it lucked out because they were cosplayers as well. So I popped up my, what is it called? Kyo, that, like, the little pink girl with glasses. I'll have her showing pop up on the screen or whatever. But I think it was Blood something like that. And I wore her skirt and I wore her wig, but I looked horrible because I was too tall and really chunky, so it didn't really fit right. So when we were there, I think she was dressed as a Danganronpa character, and all her other friends were Danganronpa characters because I was just tagging along. I generally didn't know what a convention experience was like, so I just tagged along. I stayed my distance mostly because some of the animes they were into, I wasn't really into. I was into Durarara at the time, and they were into Danganronpa and Naruto and Miraculous Ladybug. That wasn't an anime, and it took me a really long time to realize that wasn't an anime because they talked about it like it was. So we're walking, I get really hungry, so I go to the food stall. And I whip out my $160, which is now dwindled down to about $80 because I bought a body pillow and a couple of posters. I didn't know conventions were going to be that expensive. I mean, who pays $60 for a body pillow? But I didn't know about bargaining back then, so I was a little naive. She actually signed my Izaya pillow, but I kind of put it through the wash too many times. I think she signed either by the feet or the stomach. That was like 3 or 4 years ago, so I'll never know. Note to self, never wash anything that someone is gonna sign. I didn't think about it like that. Then again, I was 13. All of a sudden, this very tall man comes up to me. Tall man, the white male, dark hair, glasses. He just walks up to me and he says, oh, who is that you have on that body pillow there? And I was like, oh, Orihara Izaya? Like the little fucking cringe weeb I am. So I tell him that, it's Izaya, and currently he's my husbando, and I'm going to be sleeping with him tonight. So, what the guy proceeds to tell me is that, yeah, I got a body pillow too, you want to see it? And I'm like, I don't know, my other friends are, just, over there eating. They probably forgot about me. I mean, to be honest, like, I was tagging along in a space where I didn't really know that many other people, so I can't really expect her to just give up her friends just for one single person. We were like 13 or whatever, so I didn't think it was that big a deal now, but she was all the way over there. She was having fun. I didn't want to disturb her. So I just went with the guy, and I was 13. I just want to emphasize this. I had never really had any other social interaction that wasn't my grandmother and, forced interaction with my classmates. I went with him, and I saw his body pillow, and okay. So imagine the most disgusting smell you have ever even whiffed in your life, and imagine just... And that was the smell of his body pillow. I still to this day don't know what he did with it, but I'm not conspiring because it's very clear what he could have done with it, and for it to smell that bad is completely atrocious, and I don't even want to think about how someone could be that disgusting. But then again, I thought about this a couple of years later. When I was 13, I looked at it, thought it was the most interesting thing I'd ever seen, because up until then, I had not been christened yet with that very incel-like disgusting behavior. So I didn't think like what I was seeing was actually real. So I proceed to ask the guy, I'm like, what is that smell? And the guy says, I sleep with it at night, like I assume that you're doing. And I'm like, but I want to take good care of Isaiah, so I don't want him smelling like that. And I proceed to like cover my mouth because it's just so bad. And I didn't want to be rude and tell the guy that his pillow smelled like shit, but Jesus Christ, I had to find a way out of the situation. So the guy kept pressing on and on about what I was doing with the pillow. I was so adamant, like I didn't know what else he wanted from me. I was going to sleep with the pillow, okay? I wasn't going to do anything that he was doing with the pillow, obviously. Him pushing me to answer that question led me to say, well, I'm gonna hentai the pillow, I guess, if that's what you mean. He was like, oh, you watch hentai? And I said yes, and that is still today the dumbest thing that I've ever said, because it shapes who I am to this day. So I'm not gonna go into detail, because I'd really rather just block that memory from my mind. I got away from him in the end. Nothing really happened other than that weird encounter because her dad found me. Then he was like, oh shit. That was a whole ordeal, but that was the time my convention experiences were a little tainted. I didn't really want to go to the convention next year, but then it kind of changed my mind because Caitlin Glass came and signed my Yuri on Ice figure. If you want to hear more about these weird anime-related incidents, you're free to like and subscribe. I'm just kind of trying it out now. I'm gonna draw and play some games on this channel as well, and probably show my face and do some other weird segment videos. So if you want to see more of that, you're welcome to, hit that like button and subscribe. But yeah, that's a wrap up from here, folks. Stay safe.